welcome to HCC News, where the stories matter. I'm Courtney Christenberry, and today for our Celebrity Spotlight, we are going to look at the life of a man that has transformed not just the way we think about literature, but theology as well. Let's go see some footage of C.S. Lewis's life.
C.S. Lewis was born into a family of book lovers. His family was diverse in their readings, and it caused them to have a variety of different books in their house. The love that they had for books was then passed on to their children. C.S. Lewis began to excel in his readings, and his family then encouraged him to use their family library. Lewis stated that he had many memories of the endless books that they had in their home. Lewis went on to say that there were books in the study, books in the dining room, books in the cloakroom, books in the great bookcase on the landing, books in the bedroom, books piled as high as my shoulder in the attic, and books of all kinds. In fact, one of Lewis's favorite memories was finding books to read on a rainy day, and his favorite being classic Irish literature. Once his brother Warren was sent to boarding school, Lewis began to spend more time in books and also time in an imaginary world of clothed animals and knights in armor.
By the time he was a young boy, C.S. Lewis had already left the Christian faith. His mother died from cancer when he was 10, and from then, Lewis began to have trouble believing in a God who would take his mother's life. It was not until 4 or 5 years later when Lewis finally renounced his faith. Culminating factors from both private, non-religious schooling and his mother's death helped to solidify these beliefs. As a young boy, he was schooled privately and then attended university until he volunteered to serve in the British Army during World War I. In the war, Lewis was struck by a piece of shrapnel and was sent home. After coming back home, Lewis lived as a surrogate son with one of his friend's mothers, and after that proceeded to finish receiving his education from Oxford. As a graduate of both literature and teaching, Lewis was then offered a position as a teaching fellow at Oxford.
C.S. Lewis became a part of a group that was called the Inklings, and they began meeting in the 1930s and continued through the 1940s. This group included writers including that of J.R.R. Tolkien. It was through this group that C.S. Lewis came back to the faith. Much of C.S. Lewis's works were influenced through the meetings of the Inklings. This group wrote much about science and fantasy. They recognized the importance of nature, joy, healing, but also acknowledged the dangers of technology. Many times these meetings would begin early in the morning, and discussions and debates would continue on until late in the evening. These meetings developed the theological works of C.S. Lewis that people have come to know of today. Wow, that was a great story. Now let's head over to our field reporter, Michaela, where she is interviewing people on how C.S. Lewis has impacted their lives.
Hello, I'm Michaela, and today I'm here with Jonathan, a fellow IRU student. Jonathan, please tell us how you think C.S. Lewis has influenced Christianity.
One of C.S. Lewis's biggest impacts, in my opinion, is his book Mere Christianity, where he starts off, and he doesn't start off where a lot of Christians start off, with the assumption that God exists. He starts off at the very basis with, especially in the time he was writing, was probably, people didn't necessarily assume that God exists, so he started with that. Let's figure out why we can say, why we believe that God exists, and then he continuously builds upon that knowledge, going, why does God exist? Okay, now let's see why God is not just created and let go, as a deist would say. And then he goes further and further into that and delves into why we really believe what we believe in such a way that it's not based on assumptions, but it's based on logic and rational thinking, which is what the world wants to see. And I think that's allowed us to have a new perspective as Christians, to have a new perspective on how we approach evangelism and conversations with those who don't believe. than how we approach conversation with those who do.
Wow. Jonathan, that's great. Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Michaela, and I'm here with Megan today as we're on the field asking people about C.S. Lewis. Megan, how do you think that C.S. Lewis has impacted Christianity?
Well, I think something that's really cool as an elementary education major, just seeing how I can use his books in my classroom to integrate my faith and to impact my children and just share truth with them through his words. I think that's really cool.
Thanks, Megan. Hey everyone, I'm here with Hannah. Hannah, how do you believe that C.S. Lewis has influenced Christianity today?
I think C.S. Lewis did a great job integrating the Christian theological beliefs into the secular world, especially with his works with Narnia. And that was a great way of branching Christianity and having people who don't necessarily know Christian concepts learn about Christianity in a different way, and that bridged the conversations and made it more natural conversation. He also took very complex ideas and made them simplified for new Christians, especially with Mere Christianity, and he simplified it so we can understand it on levels, simpler levels, and use simpler metaphors. So he helped Christianity by just making the profound simpler.
Wow, thanks, Hannah. Right now I'm here with Michaela. So, Michaela, how has C.S. Lewis influenced Christianity today?
I don't know a ton about C.S. Lewis, but I think that he provided a unique twist and a unique modern twist that former Christians hadn't really considered, and he brought in like the imagination that Christians have, especially considering like the dualities of heaven and hell, but also how we interact with the kingdom of God every day. I think he really added symbolism to how we can interact with the divine, which is really, really cool and really, really impactful, at least in the literature that I've read.
Hello, I'm Michaela, and right now I'm here with Miranda. Miranda, how do you think that C.S. Lewis has affected Christianity?
I think through C.S. Lewis's literature, he's given us an opportunity to see how God interacts in our world, the good times and the bad times. And I think he provides a unique way of us looking at how we can face trials and meet them. That's what I would say.
Perfect. Thanks, Miranda. Wow, I have learned so much after all these interviews. You can really see the connection between C.S. Lewis's life and his writings. I hope you guys all learned as much as I did. Now, when we come back, find out the secrets of Baldwin in our new series, Baldwin Exposed.